All right, guys, welcome to Destiny United team call on Thursday. We are just gonna hop right on in here because we have a guest speaker that I am super excited to learn from. So thank you for everybody getting on and being a sponge. Like I said last week, if you have a team logo for your team, get it to me. Let's get it on here. Let's pack out this cute little picture of ours. I want to just recognize Coach Kaylee again. She's not on the call. I was hoping she will get on, but Charlie is just adorable. Kaylee and Charlie are doing amazing. So congratulations, girl. We are just thrilled to have a new member on our team. So she is absolutely stunning. Recognition. So July is just about coming to an end. Did you guys beat your best? Thumbs up, thumbs down? If not, we still have time. We still have time to be our best. So July Trailblazers are those that hit Success Club before the 15th of the month. They are blazing a trail in Destiny United for everybody to follow. So they are just lighting up the board. So congratulations to those ladies. Also, congratulations to Megan Broski for hitting her success starters and earning her free trip to Coach's Summit in Indianapolis. Great job, girl. Whoop, whoop. She's on the call. Give her a round of applause. All right, so you guys should know this, but if not, I'll just recap. Each challenge pack that you help somebody get started with is worth 2 points. So that's where the points are coming from. So this month, congratulations to Patricia, Maureen, Colleen, Brandy, Abigail, Kristen, Michael, Ashley, Amanda, Tiffany, Amanda, and Jamie, all for helping one person get started on their journey. I know a lot of you guys are new coaches, so that is freaking awesome. Like, congratulations. I'm very proud of you. Morgan, brand new coach. You need one more person, girl. You got this. Ashley has 4, Jennifer 4, Raquel, brand new coach, hit Success Club with 5, 6, I'm sorry, Jennifer Ebert 6, Cassandra Murphy 8, Lynn Ziner 10, Rainey Warner 10, Keely 10, myself 16. You guys are rocking it. Great, great job. Team builders, we can't just help people with challenge packs, you guys. We have to make them into Beachbody advocates. We got to get them to fall in love with what we fell in love with and then see the bigger picture, helping more people and earning freedom. Whatever freedom means to you, if it's time freedom, if it's financial freedom, if it's the freedom to travel, whatever it is, whatever it looks like to you, you've got to build a team of other believers, okay? So that is our goal. So Cassandra on the board with 4, one more girlfriend and you get the $100 bonus. If you sign up 5 coaches in 5 weeks, you get a $100 bonus. Lynn Ziner 3, myself 1. I gotta pick it up. That's what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow. Kaylee, 1, Megan Broski 1, Michael Weller 1, Morgan 1, Colleen 1. 14 new coaches this month, you guys. I know we're gonna focus on building an awesome team, and that number is going to continue to increase as we go throughout this year. Saturday, I am doing a special Saturday inviting power hour. We are going to do a July push, make it to the end, hit our Success Club goals. I will drop the Zoom link in our group. Hop on, let's power hour it out, jam out to some music, and just invite, okay? That's what that's all about. Our guest speaker on the call tonight, so excited to meet you and get to know you better. Alexis Eisenhart, 3-star diamond coach, 40 plus months in Success Club. Legend? What? 40 plus months. Do the math. I'm really bad at math, but like there's 12 months in a year, times 2, times 3, do the math. 40 plus is crazy, you guys. It's amazing. So she's been coaching for 6 years. So have I, girlfriend. Whoop, whoop. Let's see, in September, it will be 6 years. You are a 6-figure earner. What? I got some stuff to learn from you. Success Club legend, Financial Fitness and Financial Independence Awards. Maybe you can tell us exactly what that entails. And I don't know if I can say this, but you made 12K? Is that right? In May when 2B came out? Okay, I'm just gonna unmute her. Unmute yourself, girlfriend.
Okay, hi, yeah, thanks. Yep, it'll be 6 years in September, and actually she's the reason why I got into this pretty much, because I was living in Indiana at the time when I started coaching, and we were military at the time, and then we got out of the military, and to transition from like having instant friends to having no friends and having 2 little kids, I was like stuck. And then I wanted to shed my pounds, of course, that all new moms want to do. So that's when I got started coaching. And I will tell you this, it was not a piece of cake. I mean, I look back on it now and I'm like, it was all my learning. But when I was in my first month of coaching, I was so scared and wanted absolutely nothing to do with the process I thought was coaching, which was, I thought, making all of my friends buy this stuff that nobody wanted. So it was really scary. I hated to be that one that was selling. So I really had to figure out how to make it not about selling, which is what we're doing anyway. But in the beginning, that's all you think it is. You think you have to sell to your friends, and they're the only people that are going to buy and support. And what am I going to do when that runs out, right? Like, you get so nervous that you're going to burn through your friends, then they're not going to want to be your friends anymore. And then what the heck are you going to do with your business now that you have set up? So that's kind of what I'm going to talk about tonight, is finding customers outside of friends. And yeah, I'll touch on some of that. 6 years in, my goal for this starting was to earn $100 a month so that I could take a date night with my husband. We didn't live anywhere close to family, so we would need a babysitter. And with him being the only income earner, me choosing to stay home, we needed that help. We needed the $100 so we could still build our relationship. And it's just amazing how much it's grown into this. Now I sit down with my husband and we make goals, and it's like, I'm going to reach 100,000 this year, or I'm going to reach 150,000 this year. So you always have to have those goals on the table. Last month was just a huge month for our team. I will say a lot of my income, and this is what's important, a lot of my income is from my team volume. So I sell challenge packs, but building those legs down is very important, because that's where my income comes from now. I mean, I capped out a couple times that month too, because my volume was so high that my rank couldn't reach that anymore, because you cap out at certain ranks and certain dollar amounts. So building that team is important, and finding people who want to be business builders also, because you can sign 100 discount coaches, and if they're not building volume into your team, then it's just not going to do anything for you. So you have to find those people that really love what you love, and get them to share. So the more you can build that. So finding those people, where the heck do you find those people, right? I will say, like, my 2 or 3 really good business building coaches are people that I know. They weren't random stranger customers. So just, it can happen, because one of my personal sponsored coaches, her business builder, who she made elite last year, and she's a 5-star diamond. She was a random person. So it happens. Like, you don't have to know everybody who will be in your downline, and finding customers who haven't been my friends has been really key to continuing building over the 6 years, because in 6 years, you're going to go through all your friends, right? I mean, you're going to find a message, probably, if you scroll back. I've talked to every single one of my friends about this. So, and you don't want it to get icky in the long run. So, all right. So something that I think is very important for you is to figure out who you are as a coach, right? You want to set your brand, and you always want to be sharing this brand. And that doesn't necessarily mean sharing Beachbody. It's sharing you. I share a lot about my kids, a lot about my interests, just a lot about my family life. And that makes you a person, Because if you're just sharing about your workouts every day or your shake that you're making every day, people just see that. And you want people to see you as a whole. You don't want them to be stuck on that your life is only Beachbody, because that's not what it is. We get into this to help us do all those other things and to have the freedom to do the other things. So set your brand and figure out what that is. And that brand is always going to be evolving, right? Like me today is not the same me that it was last year. So don't be afraid to change that. Don't be afraid to think that you always have to be this one person, because that's what your brand is. I am 100% or 360 degrees from who I was when I first started coaching. My life's changed. My kids have grown up. My kids are in school. When I started this, they were babies. So you're always going to change who you are. So as long as you're always being true to that self and sharing that, this becomes easier to bring people in. And you have to get uncomfortable. You have to share things, your everyday life, that you might not normally put out there on blast. You might just need to get vulnerable and uncomfortable and share with people the stuff that makes you you. So, because it's not always good. You don't want people to think that in this coaching business, it's always 100% roses and always going to be easy. And because then you're going to get people that join and get frustrated when it isn't, and they're going to be disappointed. So make sure you get uncomfortable with things. Things are tough, like that, you didn't get the workout in that you thought you would every day, or, man, you fell off your program again and you can't get with it, things like that. So sharing you and your brand is the number one thing that will help you get people. And it's the only way you're going to get people outside of your friend group, because you want people to see you for who you are and not what you're selling to them. So you have to kind of become friends with these strangers if you're going to get them to trust you and to join in with you. So a couple things that I have done, like I said, we've moved a lot. We're on our 4th state in my kids' lives, well, her 3rd, but I constantly have to make new friends, and it's been great for my business because I have to meet new people all the time and start a whole new friend group. But even for people who don't move a lot, there's lots of ways out there in the world to find new people that want to help you and want to join you. Can you go get my water bottle, please? Thank you. Okay. It might be on the counter. Okay. So one thing that I've done a lot, and I do this every time that we move, is I start to join groups on social media. When I was brand new kind of to the military, it was Yahoo groups back then. And now that Facebook has become so popular, I've done this all the time. So, but now that Facebook is very popular, there's so many groups on Facebook that you can join. All these different communities that you can join and meet friends in. And it's really helped me every time we've moved, establish places I like to visit, or things I want to do, or things that are going on. Like, you can join garage sale groups and mom groups and anything that's your interest. So when you're joining these groups, thing that I like to get people to do, and I do this with all my new coaches all the time, is I want them to write their interests down. Like, what makes you you? And it doesn't have to do with anything with coaching. So like, I horseback ride. We're really into organic food and gardening and like CSA type groups. I had home birth, and at the time I cloth diapered. So things that, they're not relevant now, but they were. We're just like in a natural lifestyle. We like to be outdoors and hiking and biking. So all these interests you want to write down, and then you can start searching for the groups. They're on Facebook. I was really into, for a while, I was getting a lot of Stitch Fix boxes. So I joined all these Stitch Fix groups. And this is the part that once you find all these interests and you start to join groups, this is the part that gets hard, is you've got to interact with those groups. You can't just join the groups and think that you can piggyback off people and pull customers in left and right. You have to be you in those groups. So that's where you get uncomfortable. You start sharing a little bit, you comment on people's things. So you're not just jumping in their inbox and like, hey, it's just giant red flags. People know why you've joined the group. But I have lots of friends who I've met from like a Stitch Fix trade group because we were the same size or something, and we started talking about different jeans that fit our body type. And then they friend you on Facebook for real, and then they see all your life that you're sharing, and then they want to know what's going on. So it doesn't even necessarily have to be that you have to cold message these people, because you've already established this trust and relationship, and then they can feel they can come to you once they see what's going on. I don't use a lot of Instagram, but I know people do. And when you hashtag all your stuff on Instagram, I think you can even do it on Facebook now. I don't hashtag. It's just not my wheelhouse. But use those hashtags that you use, because you're not using hashtags like Beachbody, right? You're not using Shakeology, because then you're attracting coaches only. So you're hashtagging like organic gardening or beekeeping. I'm a beekeeper, so honey. So you hashtag, find those hashtags that you like to use a lot. And those are some of the groups that, you might have interest in. So groups has been, I've probably over the past few years, maybe 100 different customers I've gained just from gaining relationships. I've signed 3 different coaches from groups, people. So it happens. You just have to be authentic and make sure Ox is on a call. My cat. You just have to be authentic and share you, and make sure that those groups that you're joining are in your interest, so you can communicate and talk, and you know what you're doing in there. So don't join a group that's like bodybuilding if you have no idea about lifting or anything like that. So unless you're interested. So, but something else that has been, and we have taught this to our coaches from the very beginning, and if you do it right, it's kind of a cool thing to do, because you're expanding your friend group from friends that you already know. So friends that your friends may know. It's something called, I forget what we called it. It's basically asking for a referral. So you have all your friends. You may have burned through these friends, or you've already sent them a message or something, and send them a message, and you can ask them if, thanks for supporting my business. I was wondering if you knew anybody that I could help. If you indirectly ask these people, 2 things can happen. 3 things. They can say no, they don't know anybody. They can say, hey, yeah, I was just talking to so-and-so, and they were thinking about, they wanted to figure out what they're supposed to be eating. Or 2, they could be like, I don't know anybody, but I think it might be time for me. So you want to, when you craft a message like this, you don't just necessarily say this. You can, hey, do you know anybody? But, something you can share is, depending on where you are in your business, we used to do this a lot with our brand new coaches when they got really nervous about inviting their friends. And we told them to invite their friends indirectly by asking them for someone else to help them. So we would tell our coaches to talk to them about their new business that they started. They're really excited about this. And even though you may not be interested, you may know of somebody. So if you ever think of anybody in the future, would you send them my way? Or do you know anybody right now that might be interested in this line of work or this business, that might have the same passion that I do? I have a script, and I'd be more than happy to share it with you, or I should have pulled that up, but I can send this to you, Amy, and so you can share that. We have a couple different scripts for things like that. So I hope I'm explaining this right, but basically you want to contact your friends or family and ask them for a referral, just like you call up somebody and it's like, hey, do you know a doctor, when you move to a new area. So ask them if they know anybody who might benefit from this business. And you kind of throw in there like a little bit something that might make them interested. I've been doing really well in this business, but I'm ready to expand more. I'm ready to build onto my team more. Do you have anybody? And sometimes that gets people excited. They don't really want to be asked directly, but when they think about it, they're like, well, yeah, that could be me. So I'll definitely get you a good script on that we use. And then you can, tweak it to how you guys like and put your own words on it. And I think that it's been really beneficial, and it's good for new coaches because it kind of puts the pressure off asking your friends and family. So it's even like another way to get in with people who but might be a little bit shy to ask if they want to get into coaching somehow. I have two more that I use for finding people that are outside. One of them, I haven't done this one in a while, and it's a little bit due to, you can get around it. Beachbody changed a little bit of their the way we can advertise and the way we can promote things. I used to run these ladies' night out groups on Facebook where you get a bunch of different vendors, different MLM companies, and you share a week where it's all run through Facebook or social media. I guess Facebook is where I've only run it. We've advertised on Instagram, but you put them in a group. You get like 10 different MLMs. I've gotten Sensi and Norwex and Rodan and Fields, and you get your friends who are consultants, and everybody adds people into the group. And then everybody gets to showcase their products during the day. And then you can do a live, I've done it where we've done live giveaways where people can enter based on how many comments they make. My group, and I keep it rolling, it's just the benefit of me running it and making it smoothly that all my friends, they can dump their people in there, but I have 700 people that I don't know in my group. So all of my friends who are consultants, they're asked to to invite 10 people at least into the group to be involved, and they have to do a giveaway in my group, and they can advertise, and the people can come in, they can shop or they can not shop, and they comment on things to win the prize at the end of the week. We do a live giveaway. But I have gotten so many sales from this because they're not people opt into this. They want to see what you've got. So you're not cold calling people to look at your stuff. And, these aren't people So if everybody invites, normally everyone's asked to bring 10 people, but everyone brings a lot more because a lot of people want to join. It's like a fun shopping night. I used to do it 2 times a year. I haven't done one in a long time. It's just been so busy with the kids being in school, but I try to do one like, right, it's September, October time, like before Christmas, and then you can advertise it like as a holiday shopping event, and then before like school gets out as like, stock up on teacher gifts or things like that. So again, utilizing your friends to help you find people. I mean, everybody wants a good pat on the back. So, and now there's no point in tearing MLM other friends down, right? Everybody we know has some other friend that sells something, support each other. That's what makes you a good multi-level marketer, because your friend is going to go, hey, I just did this event with this girl and you want to go work out. This is my friend, go work with her, so you're going to get lots of referrals that way. Anyone who's in my groups that I've done, if somebody ever asks me, what do you use? I always refer to them. So I try to help my friends out all the time. And if you do that for your friends, they're likely to do it back for you. So that's a fun one. And I also have a script for that. I'm more than happy to share how we do that so that you can follow it. So I have step-by-step, like what we do, inviting, how the group runs, and day-by-day posts and things like that. So The last thing I like to do is this especially is helpful for me because of moving and trying to figure out all the things. Hey, please, thank you. Is getting out in your community. This is scary sometimes because you have to put your face out there, but it's part of setting up you and becoming an authentic person and not just a coach who has no personality. Get out in your community and interact with the things that are going on out there. I know some people on your team host fit clubs because I've seen lots of fit clubs, so that's always a good one. Booths at community events. I like to do those every once in a while. Different gyms, like I'm into CrossFit. So our CrossFit gym, they always have competitions, and CrossFitters like to use their supplements, and we have a really great supplement line. So I like to bring my supplements to CrossFit events and share them and do samples. And, people like that are always looking for the next best product out there. So set up relationships with gyms and chiropractors and massage spas and stuff. Ask them if you can go do little sip and shares and their stuff like that. Getting out and showing people who you are and what we can offer. A lot of people don't realize, if they're not familiar with Beachbody enough, they think that we're like the B90X people and like that's all we've got. So we have so much to offer, especially now with our kids. I mean, the daily sunshine and our bars and things like, there's so many different things that you can showcase, and all of our products you can showcase a different way, like taking our performance line to a gym and asking if you can do a sample one day, even if you're just setting up a little table with some of the samples, mixing up some Recover Forum there, or having a tub of Energize ready to go for them before their workouts, hydrate during the workout. I think local gyms especially like to help people like that. My gym is great with entrepreneurs. They really want to help us all the time. And, it's a good way to get out there. People always want a sample of something, before they buy, right? So these are like the best way to get out and let people see who you are and what you have to offer so they don't have to purchase it right away and be disappointed or be afraid of something. So everyone will come up with an excuse if they haven't tried it before. So so I've done lots of booths. I've done wedding booths and just local vendor fairs. It depends. They can be an investment sometimes, depending on how you want to do it. It's a lot of time, and they can be, you can get a lot of good response or you can get absolutely none. So it all just kind of depends on the crowd, but I've definitely gotten a good response from doing stuff like that. So getting out in your community and just, again, showing who you are, showing your brand, showing what we have to offer, and getting you across out there. People are attracted to a certain energy sometimes. And if you are always out showing that energy, it's a lot easier to communicate and bring people in. I am probably like one of the biggest introverts. And I still get really nervous, like when I even do any kind of speaking or event or anything. But that's why I like this business, because sometimes you can still be an introvert and be a really great coach. I mean, you don't need to be best friends with all these people, and we get to stay behind the computer sometimes, but it really helps when you get out and like showcase who you are in front of people instead of behind the computer. So she's been doing cartwheels the whole time. We just came from gymnastics, so I've been trying to stay focused. So those are the best ways that I found that I can find customers. So joining groups, first setting you, being you all the time and sharing it. And don't be ashamed if you in 6 months is not the same you, and you need to start all over and do it again. Because that's like the best part of coaching, is you always get to reinvent yourself. You're always going to have new people, even like friends that told me no 5 years ago have come around and come back now and are like, their lives change. Your lives change day to day. You know, like 1 minute you're fine, you're working out, you're doing fine, and then bam, you're pregnant. Life is changing, and you've got to figure out what you're going to do now. So just always be ready to be evolving and being uncomfortable and doing something new, because that's this business. I kind of, when I first started coaching, I was nervous that where was this business going to go? I don't know, Amy, if you felt that way too, because you know, I feel like there's only so much fitness you can share. There's only so many workouts you can do and things. And I've been really pleased with the way that this business has been able to evolve over the years and still be really true to itself. So I think that that is a good correlation to us as coaches as well, because when I think about me in 2 years, I'm kind of like, well, what am I going to do different? Where am I going to be? And you just got to have faith that you're going to be able to evolve, and you're going to be able to change, and you're going to be able to piggyback off of things you've done before and even do it better. So being you, setting your brand, no, go on. Please go upstairs. I don't think it's brushing his teeth in front of me. That's distracting. So, yeah, so just be true to you. So the things that the different ways that I shared, joining groups, finding your interests and getting into groups that you're interested in. Use your hobbies, use hashtags that you use, and just communicate, show people who you are in those groups. Use the indirect inviting. Ask your friends for people who might be interested, and I'll get you that script. Just make sure to remind me. Using girls' night out, ladies' night out, shopping clubs, however you want to call them, multi-level marketing, parties, whatever. Get your friends to help you. If they don't want to help you by buying a product, get them by sharing customers. You know, all your customers might not want to buy your product, but they might want to buy your friends. So that's the same thing. All your friends' customers might not want to buy any more of their products, but they want someone else's. So help each other. It's the best. People helping people is kind of the name of our company. Please go. And then getting out in your community, becoming somebody who people can look to, and sharing a little bit of what we've got in person in our communities, fit clubs, booths, setting up relationships with different businesses, pairing up with businesses and stuff. And I mean, Your Wear and Share is big, so just anyone wants to talk to you about anything, and you know, anytime I go out, at least somebody asks me something about what I do, and then I get to talk about it. So don't be ashamed to talk about it. Talk to your spouse and your family and stuff, and get that story down. Get who you are and what you're doing down. Because sometimes when I first started coaching, and I still do it sometimes, but when I first started coaching, people would say, you know, well, what do you do? And I would say, well, I stay home. And then like, I thought about it more. I'm like, I don't just stay home. I mean, I run a big business. I mean, I run a $1.5 million business, you know, don't diminish that, you know, it's a big thing. So becoming a stay-at-home mom with a at-home business is like probably one of the biggest jobs out there nowadays, right? I mean, so many of our friends and people out there, MLMs are among the highest earning people for careers these days. It's just becoming more and more, and don't be ashamed of that. So get your story on who you are down, and when people ask you what you do, tell them I help people. I'm a coach, and I make people's lives better, you know, so that's what we do. So I hope that helped. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you ever have. This is kind of, what? No, I'm so sorry. Part of this getting to know who I am and being able to talk to people are what led me to meet Ashley and Kaylee, because we probably wouldn't have connected unless we were willing to get out there and talk to each other, because we met on the Beachbody cruise, and it just so happened that we were moving to the area we live in Mertztown, but the Allentown area, and that's where they were from. So you'll never know who you're going to meet when you start talking to people and being proud of who you are and your story and things like that. So you meet so many cool people. So it was just random that I would meet another Beachbody coach that's living in the same town we're moving to. So, but that's part of getting out there, sharing who you are, and you get to meet amazing people along the way. So I hope that was good.
That was so good. That was so good. I'm going to actually open it up for questions. If you guys want to unmute yourself, if you don't mind, Alexis, you said?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay. There's a lot of new coaches on the call, so I'm just going to let you guys unmute yourself, open it up to questions. Pick her brain. Anybody?
Alexis, I love your idea of having the ladies' night out groups.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of having it in like September, October timeframe. Did you call it, like you put it in a group, I take it. And then did you have like each person kind of do their posts each day, or did you put it in the event? Like how did you organize?
So I started as a group. So what I do is I write a post saying that I'm hosting this event and I need companies. I need these types of companies. I don't do another I won't let like Plexus or those other, and I tell them, I said, you're a competing company. I will not let like Mary Kay and Avon, or, like two beauty products be in the same group, because I just want it to be fair for everybody. Like I say, I'll get you next time, but I don't want two jewelry companies, or I don't want people to fight for the same customer. So once I could get people who are interested in doing that, I have a script that we use for each day. Like the first day is like introduce yourself and your company. The second day is like share a special that's going on. Third day is like what's your favorite product. The fourth day is how do you use a tip or trick to using something that you have, or like I share a recipe usually or something like that. Or the very first time I did it, everybody did posts. By the last few groups I've done since Facebook Live has gotten so popular, everybody goes in and does a live. It gets so much more personal, and it's fun that way because people can interact right away, and it really makes it an enjoyable group. I tell the vendors they are responsible for counting their comments. Each comment, one person per comment. You can't on one post, one person make 45 comments and like they get 45 entries. It's one entry per post. But the vendor is responsible for counting and tallying all their posts. I don't mind at the end like doing a raffle copter for them and choosing their person if they need help with that. A lot of them in the beginning wanted help, but by the end people have gotten pretty savvy about doing stuff. I don't always use the same people either, so it's not like they're doing this group over and over and over. But by the end, so many people were just utilizing live and they know how to do the giveaways and they want to do it themselves. Like the first few groups I did everything where I announced all the winners and everything. And by the end, the consultants are pretty much taking over and sharing the, being the advocates for their company, I think. So I'm kind of just setting the space and the guidelines at this point. So, but I do have templates for setting it up, where you do it versus they do it. So.
Would you be willing to share those?
Yeah. I definitely, I have, and anybody can join my group and look at it and see what my only one rule is, when I add other people, is you're not allowed to cold message people. Other vendor, I have rules written out that the vendors have to follow. And I tell the group to begin with, like, these are our rules. If a consultant's breaking the rules, let me know. I've only once had to remove somebody, and it wasn't it wasn't even my vendor. It was somebody who joined the group who was trying to sell what they had, and not like one of my designated vendors. But usually I just delete the post right away, send them a message, hey, I'd be happy to have you next time, but this time these are the specific vendors. I mean, people are pretty respectful, and it's been good, but I make sure that I don't want people to feel like they're in a group to be sold. I want them to shop what they want. So, but
Love it.
Love it. I also love the referrals, because every single time somebody purchases from me, as soon as their order goes through, I'm like, awesome, I'm going to send you an email right away to help you get started with on demand. Do you know anybody else that might be interested in joining their group? Because it's so much more fun to do it with a friend. And but you put like a little spin on it. You're like, new coaches, like, hey, like message your friends and say, this is what I have going on. I'm super excited. Do you know anybody that's interested? That takes the pressure off, but yet you're still putting yourself out there. Yeah, I love that idea. And that's actually Megan signed up to join my challenge group. I'm like, hey, do you know anybody else that might be interested in joining? And she's like, yeah, my sister Lauren. So Lauren signed up. Yeah. And then Megan became a coach, and Lauren signed up as a coach underneath her. And so definitely referrals are huge. I love that. Definitely be doing referrals.
It really puts the pressure off of you in the beginning, feeling like, you can say things. I have to look back and see I haven't used it in a long time. But for people who just are kind of like that ice frozen, not sure how to message their friends, it takes that pressure off, like, hey, I know this isn't for you, but I was wondering if you knew anybody, and then sometimes people are like, wait, why do you say this isn't for me? This is for me, so like they sometimes decide. I love seeing everybody's to be. Need a couple of water bottles.
How do you like my LaCroix?
I don't. My husband works for Nestle. I'm banned from that.
Somebody said LaCroix and Energized together is a great afternoon, bubbly, and I'm like, oh my god. So I tried it, and I'm like hooked.
Yeah.
So anybody have any questions? Anybody else? You guys are shy.
It's okay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, definitely. I really appreciate you having me on. It's fun to share things that, I have been up and down the roller coaster of coaching. I've had lots of highs to where, you're going to leaderships and about to hit elite, and then you're way back down here where you've got nobody buying anything and you're pretty much struggling to hold on to your emerald. So, I know how it works, and that's why this business is fun, because even though you might be down here, you're not always going to be down here, and you could be back up here, and then you might be back down here, but you're not stuck down here. So, don't be afraid to fall, because you can always stand back up. So.
I think both of us being in the company and the business for 6 years is pretty much of a testament that if you want to do it, just freaking do it. Do it. Don't put a time frame on it. Don't, you can do anything you freaking want to do.
Yeah. You have to understand that when you give yourself till Monday to do it, there's always another Monday, and you just have to do it now. Don't wait for the Mondays, because there's a never-ending supply of Mondays, but there's only one now. So that's awesome. Something I always
I'm writing that down for my next post. Thank you.
I'm with you.
Awesome. I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you so much for sharing. We greatly appreciate having you.